Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. This is Justin.
What?
Tonight, we're coming at you with another Gurkha. I've been on a Gurkha kick lately, and I wanted to try as many as I can get my hands on. Tonight is the Gurkha Vintage Shaggy. Um, Looks really interesting. I've actually never had a cigar where the wrapper cuts off and then it's just binder for a while. But I imagine it's a great way to determine what your flavors are in your wrapper, because you're going to get binder for the first inch, but we'll see how it goes. One thing I'll point out, I don't see too many small Gurkhas. I don't think I've ever seen a Corona. They always make big, in-your-face cigars, but this one, it's a torpedo. It looks beautiful. It's a little lumpy, but of course it's a hand-rolled cigar. It's to be expected. I got one little stretch mark right here, but I don't think it'll be an issue. Seams are done well. I've got one prominent vein, but pretty thick, but I don't think it'll be a problem at all. I haven't had any issues with the veins lately, so crossing my fingers. But off the aroma, I get a wonderful barnyard and earth, and maybe a bit of chocolate. It's very, very nice. And off the foot, I just pick up a nice earthy barnyard. I don't really get that chocolate, so I'm guessing that's coming from the wrapper itself. What?
Yeah, really, like Justin said, in-your-face, big cigar. I've got one area that almost looks sort of box pressed. I mean, it's really sort of a point in the cigar. But anyway, yeah, I've never had a cigar like this either, where the wrapper cuts off at the end. But yeah, I mean, pretty firm pack until you get to the end. Pretty much right where the wrapper stops, the packet's a little spongy, but great looking stick. On the aroma, yeah, like barnyard and maybe a little cedar and chocolate on the wrapper. I agree with you there. And on the foot, pretty much the same thing. A little bit of like dry tobacco. Let's give it a.
All right. I feel like my single flame torch just isn't big enough.
Yeah, kind of like a dry cured hay and pepper on that first puff for me. And of course we're not getting the wrapper, so this might completely change after the first half inch or so of the cigar.
And I was watching a review that actually talked about this by Poolside Cigar Reviews, where he kind of cut part of the wrapper off and exposed just the binder, a trick to kind of determine flavors in a wrapper. And it seemed like a great idea, and this is kind of a cigar already built for that. So we'll see how it does.
It just pummels out the smoke too. Real easy, open draw.
I definitely pick up a bit of pepper in the finish. I definitely pick up that like hay or grassy note. It's not super harsh, but it's a little unrefined, but not bad at all.
Very good.
Some richer, yeah, I guess say rich tobacco. It's definitely there. You can tell it's an aged tobacco. I think that's what I'm kind of picking up, because it's very smooth.
Very smooth.
Just a little bit of a grassy note, but it isn't bad at all. You want to get in the first third?
Let's do it.
Let's get in the first third. Well, welcome back. We're about 10 minutes into the Gurkha Vintage Shaggy, and actually, I'll say this about Gurkha. The worst cigar I've ever had in my life is a Gurkha. That Gurkha Beast. Disgusting. But every other cigar I've had that we've reviewed has been really, really good. I mean, you can say they're a hit or miss brand, but so far this Vintage Shaggy is hitting on all cylinders. As soon as I hit that, got into the wrapper, it instantly smoothed out. The smoke got a lot thicker, very almost creamy. Not super creamy, but it was definitely flirting with creamy. I lost that grassy hay note, and it kind of turned into like a semi-sweet chocolate. Came in, definitely earth picked up. It was definitely playing with the whole profile from start to into the finish. That earth kind of just sits there. Bit of spice still a little bit, but it's very fleeting. I bump it up to like a medium to full embodied, but around a mild to medium in strength. Not picking up much of a nicotine buzz. Construction is so far really good. Burn has been great, no issues. Draw is nice. Just so far a really pleasant smoke. What?
Yeah, I agree with Justin. I mean, I'm more than willing to risk $10 on a Gurkha because by hit or miss, you're either going to love it or hate it. And out of the Gurkhas that we've reviewed, I mean, that Gurkha Beast is the only one that we didn't like. And this Shaggy Foot is great so far. I mean, out of the options of love it or hate it, I love it. It's very, very good. It's got that complexity, because after you get past that first 3/4 of an inch or so, you're not just smoking the fill, you're actually smoking the wrapper, and it's like a light switches on the cigar. And it goes from the kind of that unprocessed, earth, kind of dry earth to just as if something clicks on, that kind of semi-sweet, sweet tobacco. Smoke itself is very, very smooth. It's got a great texture to it. It's a great cigar to end your day with. There's not a lot of pepper or anything, but it's also big enough. The cigar is I don't know. It's just a great cigar to end your day with. So.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Like the Gurkha's in your face, and like White said, if it's hit or miss, this is the type of hit you want, and it's in your face, and we're loving it so far. So
yeah.
Let's get into the second third and see how it goes. Well, welcome back. We're about halfway on this Gurkha Vintage Shaggy. And I haven't had any flavor changes, and I really don't want to. They're very good flavors. Getting like a nice sweet, not really bitter chocolate, but more like a semi-sweet cocoa is kind of what we discussed. Nice earth for an undertone that goes from the first draw, or from the draw to the finish. It's very nice, very pleasant. The spice is kind of fleeting. It's there, then it's not. But it's very, very good. The smoke is, it's flirting with very creamy, but there's just a lot of it. It's very nice. It coats your entire mouth. Very nice. Medium to full in body, and then about a medium in strength. It's picked up a little bit for me. Construction's excellent. Draw's been good. No issues. What?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much exactly what I look for in a cigar. I'm a fan of an open draw, lots of smoke, and this has got everything. It's not really heavy. It's not going to knock you out, but it's got enough flavors that it keeps you interested. There's still some of that dry cured hay, some of that kind of semi-sweet cocoa, long-lasting finish, a little bit of pepper and spice. Just a really pleasant cigar. I mean, we're ending our day with this, and it's not as heavy as something that I usually end my day with, but it's really good. So I have absolutely no complaints with this cigar.
Let's get into the final third. See if it goes. See how it goes. Well, welcome back. We're at the final third of this Gurkha Vintage Shaggy. No changes in flavor, no changes in still medium to full in body, about medium in strength. Construction has been great. No draw issues. Like I said, flavors have not changed. It's just a very nice earth. Bit of spice on the finish, and like a sweet, semi-sweet chocolate. That's maybe the sweet chocolate has ramped up a little bit. It's playing a little more of a role for me, but it's still there. And just really, really enjoy the cigar. I got these on the bid site, and I think that I paid $10 for a 5-pack, so $2 a stick. The only reason I bid is because they were so cheap, and I'm really glad I did. They're an excellent cigar. I've been on a Gurkha kick, so really like it. If I was going to rate it, I would probably give it, an 8.5, maybe even a 9. I'll say a 9. It's really good. It's it's not my favorite Gurkha, but for what it is excellent. It's a great end of the day cigar. Really liking it. Why?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said before, the worst cigar I've ever had was by Gurkha, but some of the really top 10 cigars I've ever had are also Gurkha. So I'd rather take a risk spending $10 on a Gurkha that I might really love, as opposed to spending like $7 or $8 on a on a cigar that I'm just gonna enjoy. But yeah, this is a really, really good Gurkha. It's not necessarily complex, but you don't really want it to be complex. You don't want those flavors to change. Like Justin said, kind of that dry earth, you know, that semi-sweet chocolate, long-lasting finish. It's a great cigar to end the day with. It's got a little bit of pepper that's kind of coming back in this last third or so, but just a really pleasant cigar. I'd have to agree, a 9, scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9. It's something that I definitely smoke again. If you see this at your local shop or somewhere, you know, online, definitely worth picking up.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. But until next time, smoke them if you got them.